YouTube, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Trevor, bringing you another hopefully informative video for y'all today. Thanks for the support on my last video, guys. Appreciate the feedback too. What I wanted to talk today, guys, is about questions I get all the time in the gym when I'm either training or if I'm in there just rolling or whatever. Sometimes from time to time I'll train at a public gym, Armbrust Pro Gym in Denver. Also train at another, it's like a Gold's Gym here. They've got some pretty good old school bodybuilding equipment that I like a lot. But when I'm in the gym training, I see a lot of kids. This video is primarily to the younger kids, the kids that want to train. I don't see a lot of in this community. I don't see a lot of people reaching out to the younger kids. Talking to them about. It just seems like I get asked this question all the time. Hey, Trevor, I want to get stronger. What's the best program? Do I get on Westside? I heard Cube is awesome. I heard, Olympic lifting, Shako, Smolov. And my first question to them is always, let me see you squat. and that's the truth, because, these programs are all great. I've used them all. And they're all going to get you stronger. But the point is, when you're 15, 16, 17, 18, even in your 20s, maybe you haven't been lifting, for a long time. Maybe you think you know how to squat. Maybe you think you know how to bench press. My advice to all those guys is, take the next 6 months to a year. Don't worry about a program. None of them are going to, unless you know how to squat, you're not going to see, they're not going to do what you think they're going to do. It's not a magic program that all of a sudden you're going to, be squatting 600. Until you know how to squat, know how to bench, and know how to deadlift, you know the cues, you know how to keep tight, you know all those things. Until you do, I hate to see people waste so much time worrying about what program to get on. I would so much rather you guys take the next 6 months to a year and learn how to squat, learn how to drive your knees out, learn how to keep tight on a bench press. Stop bench pressing like bodybuilders if that's what you want. Learn movements. Stop going so heavy. 1 rep maxes, they don't mean anything. And if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't know how to deadlift it, who cares if you can deadlift 500 for once? That looks awful. You're not getting better. That's not how it's supposed to look. Take the time to learn how to do what you're doing. Don't just jump into something like Cube. Don't just jump into something like Westside. If you want to, that's great. But you're not going to see any carryover from that program. You get stronger, but it doesn't change the fact that you don't know how to train. And learn accessory movements. Learn what they are. Learn what they do. And most importantly, learn where you're weak. I don't see anybody out there telling these kids, that are trying to get into training, stop trying to train so heavy right now. Learn how to train. See the difference that it's making in your programming, see if your program is making any difference. Really take the time to be a student. Take videos of yourself squatting. Ask people. Send them to people. There are so many people in this industry that are awesome. If you sent them a video, they would tell you, hey, look, this is what I see. You're doing great, but do X, Y, and Z. Fix this. I get asked all the time, do I wide stance squat? Do I Olympic stance squat? And the point is, and I always tell them, do you know how to squat? First and foremost, before you even get that far, do you even know how to squat? Same thing with the deadlift. Do I sumo pull? Do I regular pull? where's the path of the bar? Um, are you just ripping it off the floor? I mean, how's your deadlift look to begin with? Bench pressing, do I use boards? Do I use, bands? Do I use chains? No. You learn how to bench press first. Um, I cannot stress that enough. I just wish people would take a step back and realize, you don't always have to, obviously you don't always have to train heavy. Train sub-maximal weights. Train for speed, because one, you're going to learn how to bench press, you're going to learn how to squat, you're going to learn how to deadlift. B, you're going to get stronger by being more explosive. You're going to get more comfortable under the weights. Certainly you can go heavy. I'm not saying don't go heavy. I always think, you should incorporate some heavy movements, but until you really know what you're doing, don't worry about programming. Don't worry about getting into, this crazy cycle or this crazy program. Or I was talking to a kid about, a kid today in the gym. The kid is probably 6'2", 350 pounds. Could barely breathe after 2 sets of, warm-up squats. And, he's trying to ask me, he wants some advice on a squat. He wants to know, what kind of program to implement. And I was honest with him, and I just said, look, man, why don't you dial in your diet? Number one, get healthy. Get healthy so you can train hard, so you can recover better, so you can feel better, so you're not, that winded doing a couple warm-up sets. I don't know why you're trying to worry about what your squat is when you've got so many other issues. Get your diet right, and then let's start incorporating some basic squat principles on how you can, get better, and also, it's not always about getting stronger. To get stronger, you have to get bigger too. That's why I'm so thankful I got into bodybuilding as early as I did, because I got big. I got bigger. I didn't have many weaknesses as far as I had real strong hamstrings. I didn't neglect my rear delts, my back. I did pull-ups like crazy. I didn't really neglect anything. So the bigger you are, the stronger you're going to be. And so I think bodybuilding in general has been lost with a lot of powerlifters too, or people that are just trying to get into the sport. You need to get bigger too. So you need the hypertrophy work too early on, more so than, in my opinion, you need the heavy squatting movements, or at least as equal. Because you have to build a base. You have to get stronger too. The bigger you are, the more weight you're going to be able to handle, the more comfortable you're going to be under a squat if you've got a strong back. Plus, but again, my point is, instead of worrying about all the ins and outs of what program is going to make you, a superhero, just learn the game first. Learn how your body works. Learn what works best for you. Apply it. Ask questions. Think about it. Be thoughtful. And smash fucking weights, guys. That's what this is all about, is just smashing weights. Having fun, getting stronger, and looking better with your shirt off. Let's be honest. Anyway, it's another episode for you guys. Remember to pour out a little protein for the Iron Brothers that went before you. Show some respect to those guys in the gym. As always, much love. I'm out.